Literature.
Pages.
Authors.
Reading things. The Book of Dad and Sybil. Hello, I'm Dad.
And I'm Sybil.
And welcome back to today, what's going to be the second part of Jurassic Park. As we've been making the notes for this, I'm feeling a bit of dinosaur fatigue. I might be dinosaured out. So we're going to try and get through the third through to the seventh iteration with the epilogue in one episode. So today, Speed is the name of the game. Sybil, do you feel ready for Speed to be the name of the game?
No.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that is the name of the
I
game.
feel sick.
Okay, so let's go for it.
So we'd like to start with a quote from the beginning of the book, which savaged lizards from the 18th century writer called Linnaeus.
Yeah, so we didn't include this in the last episode, but when I was running kind of myself through this the other day, I found come across it. So it says, reptiles are abhorrent because of their cold body, pale colour, cartilaginous skin, filthy skin, fierce aspect, calculating eye, offensive smell, harsh voice, squalid habitation, and terrible venom. Wherefore their creator has not exerted his powers to make many of them. So yeah, that's pretty brutal for the dinos.
How I would sum up the first section would be so there's a section called the shape of data, and one is named after the fictional legal company Calway,
Yeah, I'd say Cowan.
Swain and Ross. So that first section is quite procedural, with lots of tests and inquiries.
Bit dull in comparison to the rest of it, maybe just a tad.
I don't think did I read that bit?
Yeah, you definitely read that bit. Yeah.
Which bit was it?
It's the bit where the three lawyers are talking about the fact that Hammond's gone cuckoo.
I do not remember that bit.
Well, yeah, it's not very memorable, is it? It's definitely not as memorable as a T-Rex attack.
Yeah. So so one of the sections in the iteration 3 is called Big Rex. So in this episode, we should be in for more adventure.
Okay, so our third iteration, we'll get straight into it, starts with another Ian Malcolm quote. Details emerge more clearly as the fractal curve is redrawn.
Keeps on going on about the fractal curve.
Yeah, I still don't feel like I get it. So I've made a point of, for the rest of the notes for this episode, I've not included any of the other Ian Malcolm quotes because all I'm going to say after each of them is, I don't get it, and I'm going to look increasingly stupid, so decided not to. So the first part of iteration 3 is basically that Grant still isn't sure whether the dinosaurs that they're seeing are real or they might be clever models. This leads into another scientific section about how scientists think that dinosaurs were warm-blooded and not cold-blooded.
No, reptiles. Cold-blooded.
Yeah, but they think that these might not have been because they don't do what our modern lizards do in terms of being cold-blooded and
Yeah, but they were still evolving.
Lots of lounging around.
Yeah, so you learn the names of the different parts of the park. Some of these are quite hard to say. Hypsilophodont highlands. I think that's kind of dinosaur.
Yeah, Hypsilophodon or Hypsilophodon, yeah.
Triceratops territory. Sauropod swamp. Carnivore country. Stegosaurus south. Velociraptor valley. And Pterosaur peak. And I do like find that it's only alliteration if you spell it. And like why didn't they go for like terrain?
Pterosaur terrain, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Grant says that they are irritatingly cute names, which I agree with, as much as I might enjoy some alliteration occasionally. If you're going to make it alliterative, make it all alliterative. Yes. It's lazy. So we learn what they've done to make the dinosaurs safe, in gigantic inverted commas, by making them unable to give birth. They did have to put some extra bonus DNA in the dinosaurs, as there were gaps in the genetic code when they took it from mosquitoes that were trapped in amber. These were filled with reptilian, avian, which is birds, or amphibian DNA.
Why birds?
Well, I think we talked last episode about how we think that
feathers.
there might be feathered dinosaurs, and the raptors, the evolutionary chain of raptors is into like eagles and hawks, isn't it? So there are similarities there.
T-Rex. Clock.
Big chickens. They've basically been filling the DNA with just stuff, random stuff that fits. We meet Ed Regis again, who was the weird InGen employee from The Bite of the Raptor, who kept licking his lips so much that the doctor kicked him out. So he's kind of the PR, the public relations for the park. He points out some plants to Ellie Sattler as if to be like, oh, how cool are those plants? And she's like, oh, well, that is quite cool, but they are super poisonous. And these are just around the hotel rooms.
Around the hotel rooms? Is it like oh, what's that park? Oh, no, not park. Garden. There's a poisonous garden.
Oh, Alnwick, up in Alnwick, near Northumberland, yeah. Yeah, there's a very cool...
Yeah, is it kind of like that? Those?
I guess, he just points them out. He's like, hey, look at these cool prehistoric ferns. And she's like, has to point out that they are poisonous, so I don't think they knew. So they get into the hotel rooms, which are also like a fortress. They've got like the very thick walls. There are bars on the windows. Nothing that they're seeing looks like the plans that they originally got sent. So Gennaro, who
kind of sounds like a prison,
just sound a bit prison-esque. Gennaro, the lawyer. Now it will turn out we've been calling him the toilet lawyer.
But that's only because of the movie.
Yeah, because in the movie he runs away on the toilet and gets killed on the toilet.
They should have done it in the book, but then would they have done it in the movie?
Well, I mean, they've clearly only loosely based the movie on the book. So anyway, I apologise to fictional character Gennaro for calling him the toilet lawyer. He's still not a great guy.
I don't like the lawyer.
No.
So he's a toilet lawyer to me.
So Gennaro turns up. He's got a graph showing infant mortality, which he says is related to this unknown dinosaur, which seems to have got away from the main facility. John Hammond sits at the back and says, "Oh, balls!" basically saying that he doesn't believe what's being proposed.
So in Malcolm, lays down some knowledge on them and says that it is a basic certainty that the dinosaurs have escaped the island, which I think is very reasonable since as he says in the movie, I don't know if he said it in the book, he said God created these animals and then he killed these animals. God created us. He didn't kill us.
Words to that effect, yeah.
So we cut in the story to Gennaro going a bit crazy at Hammond because it turns out he invited his grandchildren to the tour. And I think it tells in the book that their parents are getting divorced and that's why they come in here. But they don't say a word about it in the movie. So Gennaro is not happy because this is meant to be an investigation because the investors aren't happy about the park. So the grandchildren are called Tim and Lex. And a thing I've noticed is that in the book, Tim is probably meant to be the older brother.
Yeah,
Lex
asks to be carried a lot.
And Lex is like, can I have some ice cream?
And it seems to need to be entertained a bit more. So, yeah, we think.
Yeah, and in the movie, I mean, I guess I think I like Tim more than Lex.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So, why does Tim recognise Grant?
So Tim recognises Alan Grant because he wrote his favourite book about dinosaurs. And I mean, if you're working with dinosaurs and you like writing, then
yeah,
maybe. So Ed Regis has the job of looking after the kids, and he isn't happy.
Okay. So at this point, we meet some key people.
Who is Ed Regis?
He's public relations for the
I
park.
always thought he was Nedry.
No. So I don't know. Regis isn't in the film version. He's just he's kind of amalgamated into Gennaro's character in the film, I think. So we meet John Arnold, who's the chief engineer. If you want to think along in the movie, that's Samuel L. Jackson's character. The park warden, Robert Muldoon. I'm not sure what the actor's name is, but he's the one that says "clever girl" and then gets eaten by a velociraptor. And Henry Wu, who's played by
that guy.
Yeah.
They were different, because they have to run through the jungle type of thing, Jurassic type of thing.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some more poisonous plants because they don't really care.
No, nobody.
They just care if it's look good.
I don't think anybody gets got by poisonous plants in the film because that would probably be less exciting.
I mean, as I was watching the movies, I was like, why isn't there like insects or like?
Well, in the book,
like lots of things, like doing things to them.
In the book, there's a giant dragonfly lands on Tim's arm, so they have bred some. They have bred some bigger insects. I don't know whether it's friendly or not. I think it's carbon neutral. So we also meet Dr. Wu, who is B.D. Wong in the film. He's the chief crazy geneticist. So we see the hatching room where there are some mystery species, which it feels like you should know what species are going to be. They shouldn't be a mystery. There's a tiny velociraptor that jumps into Tim's arm, and this is where Wu tells everybody that the dinosaurs can't have babies. Ian Malcolm asks if they have any Compsognathus, just for sake of ease, they call them compies, which are the tiny dinosaurs that have been biting all the kids. And Wu says, oh yeah, we've got loads. They help us to clean up the herbivores' droppings. So they basically created dinosaurs to eat poop.
It's like it. So it's dinos eating dino poo.
Yeah.
So basically, it's the equivalent of making of an animal of just like a bear, let's say.
I had a bear to eat this other bear's poop.
No, it's the equivalent of bear making human, another human, and then human poop.
Okay.
And then human eat.
Yeah, I think we should move on. This is going to a dark place. So.
Yeah, so they go and see the adult raptors who try to make a high-speed charge at the fence. So Grant and Malcolm chat and discuss that the raptors are probably running about 60 or 70 miles per hour, which is rapid and terrifying. I mean, have you ever seen like a cheetah on those like documentaries?
Yeah, I think they might even make the comparison in the book of them going at cheetah speed.
I mean, more than cheetah speed.
Yeah.
So away from the group, Hammond and Wu chat, and we find out that they have made dinos that are faster and smarter than people might expect, which is very clever indeed. Note how I don't know if you called this. Note how I said very.
Seeped in sarcasm.
Yes. So the main whole learn about the security system includes massive moats around the enclosures and electric fences over 50 miles of it. Grant still reckons that this is a bit rubbish. If one could escape, then Muldoon would capture it with non-lethal methods like tranquilizers.
So the group go into the Land Cruisers, so the Jeeps, the automatic electric Jeeps, and
my favourite bit.
Yeah.
Starts off.
Because we've seen the films, we kind of know that it's going to kick off soon. So Arnold, the engineer, and Nedry spend some time pointing out how many things that could potentially go wrong, which is a lot. And turns out that one of them is that the T-Rex made itself sick from drinking water from the lagoon.
What was the lagoon? Yeah, sort of a large body of salt water.
Mm-hmm.
So the Land Cruiser and people go to see the Dilophosaurs, which will play a big part in the entry side of things. Which basically they can chew their poison from about for about 50 feet. So if you're standing in a 50 feet mile radius.
50 feet radius. I think 50 miles might be a bit much.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I said miles, didn't I? If a 50 feet radius, then you've got to run. So they see the Triceratops, which apparently don't see very well. So everyone wants to see the T-Rex. The book goes through the infamous film scene where the goat becomes dinner. But
not with the goat leg hitting the car roof this time.
This time you actually see the T-Rex.
Yeah, the T-Rex actually bursts out of the undergrowth and
there's two.
Grabs there's a
sister and a brother.
Adult and a juvenile, I think it is. No, I think so. We've got
wouldn't they eat each other?
I guess that.
Eat each other.
Yeah, clearly not because they're both still there.
Yeah, they won't be there for long. I mean, if you see them, yeah. So, meanwhile, Muldoon the hunter goes and pops a rocket launcher into a jeep, just in case he needs to rescue everyone, whilst Hammond and Moo get offended that anyone thinks any of this is dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you're making a dinosaur park, you've got to see that maybe it's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, and you did hear that correct. Sybil did say rocket launcher. Because Muldoon's basically managed to convince Hammond that he needs a rocket launcher just in case the T-Rex goes south. So Tim definitely sees a raptor in the bushes, but Ed Regis reckons that he didn't, so he ignores him, much like a lot of things that happen in this book where somebody just goes, nah, it didn't happen. Malcolm and Grant hear this over the radio and has to go back, but it turns out that the cars are automated, they're on electric rails, and they can't go backwards, which is great. They go and visit a 6 Stegosaurus, and then Grant discovers a bit of shell that he's pretty sure is a Velociraptor egg, which Gennaro reckons is no massive biggie, but I think it is a massive biggie.
Yes. Control. So we're back in the control room, and Malcolm says, maybe they should check the tally. So they check, and so there's meant to be 238. So they check, and what do you think they have? 239. And then they get scared, I think, probably. And then they type in 300. There's 300 now. I don't know how that would work. So just.
Don't they scan different parts of the park, maybe?
Oh.
Yeah.
So Hammond says that this is a bug because they cannot breed, just as Dr. Wu said. But as you will see, it's something in the DNA. So Malcolm says that hold up, something is wrong. So Malcolm does some maths, like a maths whiz, like me. So she shows him that the dinosaurs are absolutely breeding, especially the compies, but also the raptors. So Hammond gets angry with Wu because Hammond never takes any responsibility for his silly idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did make this, so it is your silly idea. So it turns out that they've used frog DNA, and frogs can change their gender. So yeah, so no one across the whole team of Jurassic Park realised this. How did they get their degree?
Yeah,
they don't know this.
That feels like even if you don't know anything about dinosaurs, which is fair enough, you might not. You should know what's happening with the DNA that you're adding to it.
Yeah.
Bizarre moves. So the gang decides to split up at this point. This is the gang outside the control room. So Sattler stays with the vet at Jurassic Park.
Favourite character. Emmy's second favourite.
What, the vet?
No.
Or
Sattler.
Sattler, okay. So the vet's called Dr. Harding, who's treating a poorly Stegosaurus, and the rest are going to go back to the visitor centre. So I think splitting up when there's ever a chance of danger times is never good. It never pays off for anybody. Tim's really annoyed. He can't be in the car with Malcolm and Grant, so Ed Regis shows him how to use the night vision goggles, which are going to come into play quite a few times, actually, in this. In the car, Malcolm admits that he's scared of what's going on. He thinks that things are worse than he even expected. They're interrupted
He expected a lot.
Oh, he was handing out pamphlets about how bad it was going to be. They hear Tim shouting on the radio. He can see the supply ship for the island setting off because there's a storm. And on the deck, he's pretty sure he can see 2 dinosaurs on the boat. And Grant confirms that, yeah, you've definitely seen 2 dinosaurs, and they're 2 juvenile raptors.
Finally, a grown-up that listens to a kid.
Yeah. So that ship's pretty much done for because it's got 2 raptors on.
And so everyone on that is gone. So here is where things start to really go south. So no one in the control centre can talk to the jeeps because Nedry's work has stopped. The phones from working. Don't know. So the jeeps then break down near the T-Rex paddock because the power goes out. Which also means that the electric fences won't be working. But to my frustration, they take ages to realise, oh, power's out. Electric fences are electric. Electric fences need power.
Yeah, there's a lot of silly people working here.
Yeah. So Nedry uses this as an opportunity to start doing some stealing. So he goes and grabs loads of embrace, and then grabs the jeep and heads for the dock. My question is he getting on the boat with 2 raptors on?
No, so Dodgy Boy, Lewis Dodgson. That's it, Dodgson. So Dodgson's sending another boat to pick him up. So it's not the boat that's just left. It's another boat.
I wonder how the captain on that boat is feeling. Yeah. When he sees out of his rear mirror, if they have that. Raptors.
Yeah, it's not great. Look.
Yeah. So this was the Jeep with Muldoon's rocket launcher, and in the movie it doesn't say anything about rocket launchers.
No, there's no rocket launchers. I think he does get an actual gun in the movie rather than just tranquilizers, but it doesn't do him any good because he gets eaten pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah, because he looks a raptor. And do die. So Muldoon decides to go and rescue everyone. And he can't because his Jeep has been taken by Nedry.
Yeah. So we're now into iteration 4. In iteration 4, it's all going off. So the Jeep group is still stuck in the Jeeps. They can't move. And if you've seen the movie, you already know that the big Rex is about to turn up. So Tim sees it first with his night vision goggles as it grabs onto the fence.
Iconic scene.
With the water, with ripples of water. Ripple. Yeah, get your cups out. So Tim sees. It would be a very different scene with a cup of tea.
Yeah, a cup of tea.
Everybody's very relaxed. So Tim sees it and it's hanging onto the cars. Ed Regis gets really scared and runs out of the car. So that's kind of like Gennaro as the toilet lawyer in the film.
Except he doesn't go to the toilet.
No, there's no toilet here. So he goes and leaves the kids in the car with the door open, which is a class act from Ed. Does he get eaten? Or does nothing happen to it? Oh no, he gets some comeuppance. He gets some comeuppance for leaving the kids. So the T-Rex picks up the car with the kids when it realises.
I just want some side characters to live.
There are some. There are some that live, yeah.
Kind of.
So we get the T-Rex tries to get into the car with the kids, but it can't. So it just picks the entire car up.
I don't think you'll fit.
Yeah, and yeets it off the path. Off it goes. Grant.
He's in a sulk.
Grant's in a sulk.
No.
Or the T-Rex. Yeah, the T-Rex. He's absolutely throwing his toys out the pram. So Grant gets out. He's frozen with terror, but this turns out to be fine because we get the whole its vision is based on movement thing. Which
would that be in real life? Is this like researched?
Possibly, but don't know.
But Malcolm says no. Even though Alan, I mean, in the movie, Alan Grant already knows that.
Yeah.
He's like, don't move, and then Malcolm's like, no.
So because Grant's staying still, the T-Rex can't see him, and it gets really hacked off again. It kicks the other Jeep, which also knocks into Grant and sends him flying.
He's just like a really big toddler.
Yeah. That's fair. So back at the control centre, Arnold, the engineer, he's having a bad day. He finds out from Muldoon that the last Jeep's been stolen, and that now nobody can see Nedry, and it turns out that he's messed up with the computer systems and brought everything offline. They decide not to tell Hammond about this because obviously his grandkids are out there. Meanwhile, Nedry, he takes a wrong turn and he ends up by the Jungle River, where he absolutely gets eaten by the Dilophosaurs.
I love this bit.
Who?
It's my favourite bit to read. So good. It's like he sees it.
He gets absolutely ambushed, and they spit in his eyes to add insult to injury. There's one Dilophosaur that gets him, but in this bit there's multiple Dilophosaurs there. So yeah, be a terrifying sound to hear for your last sound.
So back in Tim and Lex's Jeep, they've been punted into a tree by a dinosaur. In the movie, they just land in mud, and they get really muddy.
Just before we move on, I've just realised that in my section I was meant to cover that Malcolm, by the way, he tries to run away from the T-Rex, but the T-Rex sort of picks him up and with his mouth and then throws him into the jungle, and we're not entirely sure what happens to him afterwards. Well, we're going to find out, but
I mean, I'm sure.
Not initially.
So Tim wakes up and manages to painfully climb down the tree, almost being squished by the car which falls after him. He finds Lexi in a drainage pipe while she's emotionally struggling, but she seems physically unharmed. I mean, this stuff scars you for life.
Yeah, I think it definitely would.
So maybe some sort of diamond, maybe some sort of diamond skin to not sustain any damage. She's like Superwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Or Supergirl, I don't know. She says that she has recently seen Grant go past, but couldn't call out for him. Why?
Maybe she was too scared. She thought she was going to attract the dinosaur. Who knows?
So Grant, I think Grant, emerges.
But yeah, they start to shout for Grant, and he's not actually gone that far, so he hears and he comes back.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, he definitely comes out with jazz hands.
Yeah. Nearby, Ed Regis gets eaten by the juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. So sad, boo-hoo, no one likes him. He's the new toilet lawyer.
He is the toilet lawyer, but he's not a lawyer, but he's
lawyer.
Spiritually a toilet lawyer.
Yes. After the last one we accidentally said. So Malcolm has survived the initial attack and is picked up by Muldoon and Gennaro, who turns out didn't get eaten on the toilet in the book, as we've said. So, yeah. So that's good for him. So they also find Regis's leg. Back at the base, Hammond is calmly eating ice cream and being annoyingly chill about the whole thing. He's definitely Dad's least favourite character.
Oh, I hate him. And in the
I like the actor because his brother like who's that guy?
David Attenborough.
Yeah, David Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough plays him in the film. I love him in the film. He's lovely in the film. He's a very pleasant old man, a bit eccentric, a little bit maybe pie in the sky, and hasn't really thought things through. But he's not. This guy is just annoying. So Grant and the kids are still trying to get out of the T-Rex paddock and take shelter in a maintenance bunker, which is a big old concrete thing filled with hay bales for some reason, which they sleep on. And while they sleep...
I thought they slept in a tree.
That's in the film, though.
And they make some really nice herbivores. Brontosauruses or Brachiosauruses?
Something like
One
that.
of them.
One of those. There's a lot of chatter about Malcolm's theories back at the control room. Malcolm's got a gammy leg. Hammond's being weird.
What's that?
Oh, his legs... He's got an injury on his leg which is getting infected, and they don't really have the medical team to deal with it. Hammond's being weird. Muldoon's not wanting to chase the T-Rex that's got in with the herbivores. Grant wakes up. He's feeling pretty rough from sleeping on a hay bale, which is fair, but immediately has to rescue a baby Triceratops that's got his head stuck in a fence. Very Mr. Bean. They try and get the attention of the motion detectors, but instead get caught by a stampeding herbivores trying to get away from a T-Rex, and they climb a tree to get away.
So we get a section now, which I think would have been great in the film. So the three get a raft from the maintenance shed and have to quietly get past the T-Rex, which is asleep by the water. They manage it until Lex, doing an average Lex thing, coughs, and I mean I would too, if it was right now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You wouldn't be very good at sneaking past dinos with a cold, would you?
No. So the T-Rex starts to chase them in the water, but uses its tail like a massive crocodile.
It's cool.
Yeah. They are saved by the fact that the juvenile T-Rex tries to steal the adult's food, so the adult leaves them alone. Yeah. Got to the end of the fourth iteration.
Yeah, so...
Three more.
Three more to go. Yeah. And the epilogue, but the epilogue's very short. So at the beginning of the fifth iteration, Gennaro and Muldoon are driving around doing some investigating. They find dead Nedry, and they can smell the dinosaur venom. Muldoon's like a tracker and hunter, and I guess he's smelt it before.
I can't smell it.
Not at the moment, no. So most importantly for Muldoon, they do find his rocket launcher. He's a happy chappy. Grant and the kids reach the aviary by the river. An aviary is a place where you keep birds. Cut to Arnold in the control room saying he really hopes they don't go through the aviary. They don't know where the kids are, but Arnold's like, oh, well, I just hope they don't go through the aviary because that'd be really dangerous. So
yeah, but
a little bit of foreshadowing.
Is it there like pterodactyls?
I'm guessing
Terry
the pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing it's not just parrots in there.
What's that? So sure enough, they get swooped by some vicious flying dinos called
Pterodactyl, I think.
Are they basically just pterodactyls?
Something like that.
Well, creepy looking.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. But they manage to escape. Of course they do. They have armour on.
They've got some plot armour, yeah.
Yes. They manage to evade the T-Rex and some Dilophosaurs a few more times as they head down the river. Grant ends up tranquilizing one of the wild-bred raptors, which they take with them.
So Muldoon and Gennaro, they seem to be the comedy relief at this point. They chase the T-Rex in the Jeep and try to shoot it with a load of tranquilizer darts in a rocket launcher, which are apparently enough to take down a herd of elephants. I guess we'll never know whether they were collectively enough to take down a herd of elephants, because the first shot he absolutely whiffs it. And the second shot he does hit the T-Rex. He thinks he's missed because the T-Rex just gets angry and runs around. But the T-Rex does eventually fall to sleep.
He's overtired.
Yeah, luckily, just like a toddler. Luckily, when he's about to crunch down on Tim's head, that's the point where the tranquilizer dart kicks in.
Why doesn't Tim move? I guess.
Tim's trapped under the waterfall at that point, Tim and Lex.
Under? How?
There's behind the waterfall, there's the storage and stuff where Grant finds the raptor, the baby raptor, and Tim and Lex are waiting on the other side of the door, so they can't get through the door, and they don't want to move because the T-Rex is there.
Oh yeah. So we now start to go into overdrive. Overdrive?
Overdrive?
Yeah, overdrive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out that the systems have not been on for hours, and all of the electric sensors have gone off, including that for the raptors. So, and you know how high raptors can jump. So Arnold has to go and turn on the proper power and immediately gets ambushed by raptors. So Muldoon gets that rocket launcher out again and explodes one of them. Wild that Hammond has let him have a rocket launcher, and as he is so protective of the dinos. So he then falls down a hill and gets stuck in a drainage pipe. How small do you think these drainage pipes are?
They've got to be at least human size, but there seems to be a lot of them out that are just kind of loose, and then you're sat in poop.
Ew.
Because it's a drainage pipe.
I mean, Lex was able to fit in there.
Lex was able to fit, yeah.
So Arnold and Gennaro both get got by raptors, as they went into a pitch black generator complex with no torch or radio. Very clever.
Yeah. So Grant, Lex and Tim get an electric jeep that they find and take the tranquilised juvenile raptor with them back to the visitor centre, where they find Ellie, Malcolm, Hammond, Wu and Muldoon are in a room that they can't get to, but also two raptors are about to get through the skylight bit that's got big metal bars over it, but the raptors are basically trying to claw and smash and bite their way through. Ellie and Muldoon distract these raptors while Grant goes to sort out the power. When he's done this, he then finds Gennaro, who's hiding in a jeep that's turned out covered in compies. So Gennaro didn't get got by the raptor. And in the movie, something unfortunate happened. Well, he's already got by this point. But yeah, so Gennaro has managed to survive with just some light bite and scratch. The jeep's covered in compies, which is not ideal, but he has survived.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Lex really wants an ice cream, which is average Lex vibes. So her and Tim go to the kitchen, and Grant, being the only adult here, with them. I think he's with them at this point.
Yeah.
So he allows this to happen, and I just have no words for this.
It's very irresponsible from Grant.
I mean, I guess the children have to be as responsible as the adults at this point. So maybe the adults have to be as responsible as the children.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. It could be. I don't know. I've never been in a dinosaur situation before.
So we then get the classic raptor in the kitchen scene, which ends with Tim and Lex trapping the raptor in the freezer. Just good play.
It's good play. So the next person to get proper got is Dr. Wu, who is trying to warn Muldoon and Ellie that they're about to be proper got, and he gets got for his troubles. Tim and Lex make it to the control room, but now all the people who know how to use the computer are dead because Wu was the last one.
Wait. Wu survived in the film.
Yeah, well, Wu's in lots of the subsequent films, being a sort of semi-baddie.
Kind of baddie.
Yeah.
So Tim still gives it a red hot go, but doesn't manage much. So Grant gets back to the kids, and then once again with a sequence which could have been great, but a little silly in the film. Grant uses toxic chemicals from the lab, which inject into an egg to get one dino, and then injects another in the distraction.
Yeah, I mean, that's super cool.
Yeah. So they managed to get the system working again, and then managed to get the boat that had the loose raptors on it to turn around. Not sure how the boat still has a crew if it had two raptors on it.
Yeah, I mean, it must be that they've got some decent protections, I don't know. So we're into the 7th iteration now, which is basically everyone's angry at Hammond. Hammond thinks everything's cool now, all good, and Gennaro tries to claim that none of this was his fault and that actually he's just very angry as well, but then Grant literally pins him up against the wall and calls him an idiot, basically. They're going to get evacuated by the Costa Rican authorities, but they're not going to turn up for a bit, so for some reason they decide they really need to go to the raptor nest and count how many have hatched. I'm not quite sure what the rationale is. I think they want some scientific data, but I think I could do without the scientific data at that point.
Yeah, I just want to be safe.
They reckon that the Costa Ricans will probably bomb the island anyway, so I'm genuinely unsure why they would even bother counting that if they think that the island's going to get bombed out of recognition anyway. They find some heavy-duty nerve gas grenades to take with them. But when they get there, they won't use them until they've done a population count of the raptors. Once again, this all just seems very unnecessary.
So we cut back to Hammond, who is with a very poorly Malcolm. He's annoyed that Malcolm was right about the part, so stomps off in a huff. So even though we've only got 2 children in this film, we've got two toddlers.
Two toddlers. Big T-Rex and Big John Hammond.
Yeah. So he thinks about everyone he can blame over themselves. So he gets scared by a T-Rex roar and trips and falls down an embankment, breaking his leg. It turns out that this is Lexington playing sounds over the speakers, who've accidentally caused this, which is very funny.
Yeah, I mean they've not done it on purpose, but they've just literally they've managed to do this at the right time. So back at the raptor nest, they drop down. Yeah, they drop down into some tunnels where they think the nest might be. Gennaro falls on his face because he tries to avoid going down, and Muldoon basically pushes him, which is very funny. They get to the nest and see at least 30 raptors. That's too many raptors. There were meant to be 8 originally. They do lots of counting and notice some behaviour, but I feel in that situation I would struggle to be that analytical. They're basically like, oh, the raptors are stood in a line. Not, oh, there's over 30 raptors here that could be eating me right now. The raptors have no eggs to protect there, so they're not particularly on high alert, but all of a sudden they run out of the tunnel. That is the raptors, not the people.
So we cut back to Hammond, who gets eaten by a pack of compies. So does Hammond die in this one?
Hammond dies in this one.
Oh my gosh! All the main people die in this one.
Grant survives. Sattler survives. Gennaro survives. Muldoon survives. He doesn't get Clever Girl eaten. Clever Girl.
So is he meant to be Australian? He sounds a bit Australian.
I think might be South African in the film, but I can't remember what his accent is, to be honest.
He sounds Australian to me. So Hammond thinks right up to the end how he didn't do anything wrong. Classic John. So everybody gets picked up in helicopters. Sadly, Malcolm died, so the Lost World can't have him with his open shirt in. Except it does.
We then have the epilogue, which is a very short one, where the Costa Rican government are basically very suspicious about what's going on. Gutierrez, who's the scientist from the beginning, who was doing the initial tests on the lizard, he comes back to see Grant and basically goes, oh, they're keeping us around so we can be scientists and look into what this crazy new creature is that it keeps eating chickens and just going in a straight line. And it's at this point that they've already thought about the fact that the dinosaurs might, because they like birds, they might be migrating. So I think the idea here is that we've got some migrating velociraptors. And it's with that we end the book. So, ratings. What are we giving this out of 5?
I think 5 out of 5 from me. For me as a child. But maybe for other children it might be a bit too much.
It's quite dense, isn't it? There's quite a lot of mathematical theory and scientific.
It might be a bit dull for other people, but I think but if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then I'd say it's a really good book.
Yeah, I think I would probably give it a 3. This felt like a bit more of a chore than some of the other books that we've read. Mm-hmm. So I think that those passages of Malcolm's theoretical bobbins maybe lost me a little bit. And there's also I think I find some of the ineptitude of the Jurassic Park people to be slightly hard to buy as well. But I did overall enjoy the book, I have to say. Maybe 3's wrong. Maybe it's a 4. Who knows? Not that it matters in any way, shape or form. So that's it. That's Jurassic Park out of the way. We've been threatening you with Jurassic Park for a few episodes now, and we've finally done it. So this is a slightly longer one, but as I said, I was dinoed out. I needed to do all the dinoing today. So we're probably going to come back with some short stories next week. But we will kind of see where the mood takes us this week. So thank you very much for listening. And we will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.